Thank you for staying with us. So today we saw a trending post by lawyer Dami Esquire urges wife to secure your future, buy property in your name, warning that divorce, separation, or polygamy can happen even in happy marriages. She says loving your husband is fine, but women shouldn't tie their financial security to a man. Support his projects if you wish, but own property yourself. And this has sparked debate. Is it smart empowerment, or does it breed distrust and undermine the idea that two shall become one? And should the same advice apply to men? What are your thoughts on this? And remember, you can join us on 020-1635-2013 or 0902-416-3440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect using the hashtag YourViewTVC. Ladies, so this is about, I think we have had this conversation quite a bit, you know, but to hear it from someone in the legal profession, I guess it brings it to mind again how important this conversation is, which is that women do not be comfortable just having your husbands own everything in their names, that women should be able to also own something and put it under their name specifically. But the conversation is, does this really help in making sure that there's unity in a marriage? Or this sort of advice, you're just planting seed of discord and distrust amongst people? How do you see this?
Okay, before you even address that, who asked questions say, should men take the same advice? Yes. Are we in the same world? This is not a man's world. Men are already doing the thing, you know. I think that I totally agree with what she has said, except that, you know, secretly owning the property is where I disagree. Okay. So own properties in your name, chest it with your chest. My love, I love you. You are my absolute love of my life. But you see that land in Ikorodu, it's in my name. Because you also need, if you have kids, for instance, or, you know, dependents, you need somebody who is like a trust holder. Okay. Somebody who knows where the properties in question are. You know, somebody who will oversee things for you. Because I was advising some artists and women who are friends of mine, petty traders. So I usually buy fruits and corn from a particular woman, and she was like, this man doesn't pull his weight and everything. I do everything by myself. I don't even want to open an account because they say that I should bring something for a next of kin. And she wants to make a 9-year-old, her first child then, a next of kin. I said, it's a majority that, as in an adult, that you make a next of kin. Okay. That your next of kin cannot be a child. In the event of where you are now,
really?
She will still need an adult. That doesn't make no. She go back, go tell them, say she be your next of king, Gabi. I go clear, you know. Wow. So that you need an adult. I don't know. I don't support the secrecy. Okay. I think it is an anti-productive idea to be secretive about it.
But there's a reason why there's secrecy.
Why you date the married, where you go the whole secret?
No, why you
don't trust the person? Why do you marry them?
Oh wow! But, like you're married to everybody you trust.
No, we are married already. It has been done. So you manage what you can. Okay. So how do you manage what you can? I own a 10-acre property somewhere, but it's in my name.
But and they collect it from me and sell it. Finish your point.
Then you do further, you know, security moves, like creating a trust.
Okay.
For instance, if you're a woman in that capacity, you're afraid of what the future would be. Create a living trust.
Okay.
That secures your old age, inclusive of when you're vulnerable, and then secures your dependence. So, but you know, it's our mother's method, and it didn't work for most of them, is to tie it here. You know, those women who stayed in troublesome marriages, the men knew when they are closed for business, when they count their profit, where they hide the money. The fight is always, don't pack my market money. It's been from time. You know, it's not worked. So there are more new ways of doing things. It's to announce, I get 3,000, you keep the money for the thief to keep.
That whoever
you know, so that you know what you're dealing with. And then you secure it like that. But what she said, own something, you can't, it's not rocket science. Your financial stability cannot depend on another human. Because human factor, this morning, the entire work I've had at the law firm has collapsed because of human factor. I walked into the office dealing with burial, but still shouting over things that I would have just, you know, preferred to stay away from for a month. And so because of human factor, things can happen. And you have to, as a person, carry some of your security by yourself. That's the honest truth.
Okay. So I know that there are no rules to these things. When it comes to marriage, you have to find a way to work what you have. The gift you've been given, is different from the gift you've been given, different from the gift you've been given. And so what you have is look at what's my situation? What am I in here for? What kind of partner do I have? How do I work with the situation that I have? If I'm looking at Nima, that Nima can easily just say, I have 3,000 here, I have this plot of land here, and I try it and it doesn't work for me. I don't have to blame Nima. It's me who decided to use her own prototype for my unique marriage. Yeah. So when I see don't do this, don't do that, I usually see it from a place of, you don't understand that there are no absolutes. We are human beings. True. And we come differently, uniquely packaged. You know, you and your partner uniquely packaged to meet each other halfway and find a way. But we need to understand that there are different types of men. So we have the protector man who provides, protects you, and also plans for you even in his demise. He thinks of you and the children and he says, let me put this aside in your name. Let me put that aside in your name. Let me set up this trust so that in case anything happens, you people don't suffer. We have those. Then we have the devourer men. Unfortunately, yes. I just decided to give them titles this morning.
That names sounds scary.
These ones are the ones that want to chop you down. So one, they don't want you to succeed more than them. Two, they are not happy when you start making money more than them. It's okay to make small things here, but when your business is now blooming, your career is blooming and all of that, they get very jealous. They don't want that. So they collect everything that you have. We are married now. You don't need to have something separate. They collect everything that you have and they use it however they want. We have situations where men collect money from their wives and use it to carry side chicks. Use it to rent houses for women, buy cars for women. You know, it's the wife that is slaving and working. Yes, we have such situations. So in that situation, do you advise, open your mouth and say, I have 3,000 naira here, or I have one land here? No. Women have always found a way to survive in very difficult situations. And that's why they come hiding things because of the situation that they found themselves. We've had, so for instance, I grew up in a place where I was taught to hide. Put it here, 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 right? And then I got involved into a relationship that, Auntie, what are you? You don't need to hide. So I had to start doing another unlearning because of the situation. Imagine if I had married somebody who was a devourer husband. I will want to hide for life because that's the only way I know to protect themselves. So before you jump into open it, marry somebody you trust, fine. You may be lucky to find somebody who is a good person, but there are many people who are unlucky to find their husbands that they can't trust. They are already in the marriage. They are having kids in the marriage, and they know that they cannot trust. How do they protect themselves? So it's good that if you are in that sort of relationship, you find a way to protect yourself. I don't know whether you want to open your mouth to say everything, if it works for you that way, but if it doesn't work for you that way, it's also okay to protect yourself. If anything happens, nobody will be asking you, did you share this information with your husband? They'll be asking you, so how do you survive? Do you have anything set aside? How do you pay your children's school fees? So if you think in that direction, you will decide what works for you.
But the author also said something about the fact that life changes. So this very protective, loving man that you have today, you can never be sure of what will happen tomorrow. So I think that's where she's coming from. But I hear you, Amaka.
Okay. So I hear Nima's side, I hear Bisi's side. So let me tie it in, especially as regards the conversations we never have as adults. It's so funny how everybody is busy committing sin while dating and being okay to show personal parts of their anatomy, but they don't want to discuss the things that matter. They don't want to have the hard conversations. And then when you say, oh, she likes money too much, it's always about money, it's always about, anyhow you want to look at it, even amongst the poor, money is important. Everybody, this kitty kata we are running every day, this rat race, is all about money and comfort. Why will you not have that conversation? So why am I saying this? Before you get married to somebody, we all have our dreams and aspirations and the type of man or woman that we want to be with, right? And regardless of the fact that they will tell you that when you write this list, that the list does not have to be complete, that if you have 30%, you can go with 30%, right? But then there's certain conversation you should have. You need to understand your partner and how your partner understands money. And how your partner, understands. See, you want to understand how someone operates or understands love and how they love you, but they don't want to understand how someone understands money and their mindset towards, you know, protecting money, doubling money, you know, multiplying money, protect, you know, you don't want to know those, even chopping, making it, chopping it. You don't even want to know how now. And so when you, the reality is that when you're with somebody, the problem, we see the red flags and we don't tell ourselves the truth. When you're with somebody, you see how they spend. You see their drive to make money. You see their drive to save. You see that you can tell, you know. So in situations like that, you need to educate yourself, tell yourself the truth, and then that can inform certain decisions moving forward.
I love that as well. But let's go on a short break. When we come back, we'll dig deeper into our conversation. Please stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thank you for staying with us. Amaka, you said something that I found quite profound, you know, the fact that we would share everything with someone, be very intimate, and yet cannot have conversations on our finances. Please go ahead.
Yes. So most times people don't even know. You date someone for so long. Some people say, oh, they were in a 10-year relationship, 5-year relationship, 2-year relationship. You don't even know what your spouse owns. You don't even know, you don't even know their financial status in terms of, do you own property, or what are your plans towards investment, goals, you know, what do you set aside, what are our plans for us, our children, what's going on, those hard conversations.
Well, Amaka, they say to us that when you ask those questions, because you are
outside. But you see, that's why there need to be a reorientation of these things, because even mothers need to start telling their sons that it's important to even have women or date girls that can ask you those hard questions, because they also help set you up mentally in terms of driving your goals to where you want. Because let me tell you something, women have a lot they bring to the table mentally, especially when they're dating a man. Do you understand? Most times, that's why when you see a man that, so let me use this as an analogy. I remember when my eldest brother, he was in Canada for school. He went to school really early, 15, 16 A-levels. And then he started dating his now wife, right? Okay. And then my parents now heard that, that they were cohabiting. Okay. Oh my God.
Flipped.
Not just because my uncle and aunties that were calling my parents to tell them that this was happening. Like, you know, they were making such a big deal of it and whoa. So my mom now went to Toronto to visit them. With, you know, the way she was going with the shout and everything. By the time she got there, we were now waiting for her to now call and now say everywhere has scattered. She has chased the girl that came to distract her son. Mother said, no, I left her. Because the way they're behaving like brother and sister, whispering, to be doing things like team. And I've seen that she has given my brother structure, made him have a sense of direction and everything, that she has watched everything. This lady is good for, you know, she's good for him. Yeah, she's mature, she's good for him. So it's important to know, because women help you have a sense of direction. They're together, this is how many years now, right? And women help you have a sense of direction. So when you have a woman that asks you those hard questions, not because she's a gold digger, you should be proud and happy that you have that type of woman. So invariably, a woman having her own property in her name, there's nothing wrong with that, as Nima said, as far as it's not shrouded in secrecy. But also understand BC's perspective that depending on who you marry and where you enter, because the men can also pretend, women pretend, men also pretend. A man can, men are also gold diggers. A man can also see you and say, oh, this person is smart, this person is headed somewhere, this person has goals and aspirations. You know what? This one will give me easy, soft landing. Let me also enter. And then they chop you down. So it's about not just having that conversation before the marriage, but you need to keep reevaluating your marriage and your relationship over and over again. Every 1 year, as a family, you should have a draw board and say, okay, this is 2025. What are achievements? What are our plans? Where did we come from 2024? What are we going to? End of the year, you do the same thing.
Thank you, Amaka. But we have a call. Oladi Pupo from Arepo. Oh, sorry.
We lost the call, So
I was going to say, you know, you made a very important point about you need to look at this advice based on your own personal situation. But there's also, as I said, the author was talking about the fact that life changes, things change. So you have a man who you do everything together. Everybody looks at you and admires you that this is a marriage that's working very well. But then, let's say in the future, he's making so much money. Now, as you know, a man making a lot of money, everybody's eye is on him. Before you know it, there's somebody who is claiming there's a child out there. Before you know it, there's we have to marry this one as second wife. The man that was your best friend has now become a polygamous man. So in that case, after you have already given all your trust, allowed him to handle everything, don't you still think in that situation that advice still applies, because you can never tell the future?
Okay, the advice is a good one, right? I just put it in a different context so that people will pick the advice and apply it how it works with their situation. It doesn't mean it's a bad advice. For some people, they can take that advice hook, line, and sinker, because that's the situation where they're in, where they know that they have to look out for themselves, and that's okay. There's no wrong in that. There's one thing about how God says do not judge, because he's the one that sees intentions. So we can sit down here and say, no, as a wife, you should not hide what you have. It is wrong. It is a sin. It is a taboo. And this person is reacting based on the shege she has seen in the marriage and how she's thinking of preserving her children's future going forward. All those is a lie, is a sin, is on your pocket. God is not saying her like that.
Let me interrupt you. I know. Okay. I'm sorry, but we have Oladipupo is back. Oladipupo, good morning.
Good morning. Hello?
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yeah. It is good for both parties to... Hello?
We can hear you. Please, just go ahead.
It's good for the two parties to set target for themselves. That in a situation where you see the woman, the man, that is not moving towards that target, the lady can go ahead to sell, to do the property in her own name. Okay. Because at the end of the day, if the man fails, the problem will be the woman's problem at the end of the day. Yeah. So it is always good for woman to do that, to acquire property in her own name. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Oladipupo.
Yes. So now the advice we give here, sometimes we assume that all things are equal. We assume that everybody is reasonable and everybody is working towards, I have a future, I have a plan, I have a goal. We have wicked men and we have wicked women. They are in the midst of all of us, and we see them and we see how that works out. And unfortunately, those wicked men and wicked women have husbands or wives. Somebody married them. Now, if you find yourself in such a situation, would you apply the regular all things being equal rule? Of course not. You're not expected to accept you're a fool. So the advice is, every woman, no matter how well your husband provides for you and caters for you, you should have work in your hands. You should be independent. Because anything can happen. Even the protector husband can disappear. Even the protector husband can die. Anything can happen. Can you as a woman stand on your own 2 feet and carry your children and run? Can your children survive with you? Do you have enough work? Leave assets first of all now. Do you have enough work that would sustain you? That, you're coming to cry in your house. Hey, sorry, this one happened. And you are saying, I have a job, I have a business, support me, I have to pay fees and all of that. Do you have something? So the advice is, allow the protector husband protect you the best way he can, but make sure that you're not idle, that you have work, that you have business, that you have investment, no matter how small, that if anything happens and you are alone, you'll be able to feed, you will not beg. Once you sort that out, no matter what life throws at you, the universe is beautiful, God is beautiful. He will always find a way to lift you out of it. So instead of sitting down and planning, in case they now marry somebody and discard me, focus on building yourself. Focus on the value that you're going to have, because that value will feed you for the rest of your life, whether or not somebody is there to protect you or not. This advice is for every woman going into, whether devourer husband or protector husband,
whoever you're married to. Fumilola is on the call. Fumilola, good morning.
Good morning, ma.
Good morning.
Yes, ma.
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
Hello. Okay. Can I speak?
Please. Fumilola, you can speak. We can hear
my
you.
contribution to it is that, yes, in this situation, I am married. But in this situation, I think when a man when you see a man that is not walking in the same direction with you, I think you have to just do your thing your way. This question, someone asked me one time that if you want to acquire property for yourself, why can't you put your husband's name? I said, no, I can't put my husband's name. Neither will I put my name. I would rather put my children's name. And the person was like, that's unfair. I said, unfair. It is the situation I find myself in marriage that makes me to put up that decision. So that is my take. If there is any woman with a man that you are seeing the man's way are so shady, you just have to do your things your way and ask for God's wisdom. That is my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Fumilola.
Before Fumilola, can't you just put it in a trust for the kids, since you want to put it in their name, but don't put it in minor's name. So there are certain legalese that affect property holding. For instance, you have children below 18 and you put properties in their name. It's a void contract, except you hold in trust for them. And so
every day.
A lot of things like that. And we cannot continue to do things on impulse. I believe that a wise woman owns in her name, and my religion supports it. Whatever I own is mine. Builds or plans for her children. So that because we can end up in polygamy, that it's 4 wives. And then, builds in transparency. Because we have seen certain, laudable future plan, security plan like this that, were built in secrecy that the banks are enjoying today.
Yeah.
The companies and all of them, even in the stock exchange, recently I was, just searching the stock exchange. I was surprised to see some shares in my father's name. So I knew it was he had this share buying thing, but after a while he stopped talking about it. And so we were just searching. And these things happened. Imagine it's 5 years he died. And he too had stopped buying those shares. Those shares are, So things happen like that. Things happen in various ways. As a woman, there are no perfect marriages, just as BC said, I must agree. You adjust and adjust with time. But I do not agree that, a marriage should fall apart because of the secrecy of you owning a property. There's also something called co-owning. So me and my husband, we have joint accounts, but we cannot have joint property. Help me explain. Even if we don't have joint accounts, we cook joint food, joint pots, joint everything. We have joint kids.
In the case of betrayal or whatever happening,
if I have co-own, so that means you didn't register. It's different when you buy property with receipts and when you perfect. If you perfect, you go to the lands, you register your deed and all of that. It's registered in the name of the draft. If Mr. Miriam and Mrs. Nima buy property together, that's what's registered. If you like, go and marry Mrs. Amaka, Mrs. Amaka gonna be in the lumbo. She's gonna be hanging. So get proper advice and own property and live life. I just want life easy. I cannot continue to live life watching my back now. So certain things like that you do them. Then also, even if leave these things, to time and God, when after you have planned, leave it and rest it. Because women walk around with so much baggage, with this fear. Our mothers have suffered, yes. But our generation doesn't necessarily have to suffer. Some women have decided to be overwise. And, targeted the very foundation of their marriage.
But let's go on a short break. When we come back, you don't want to miss this. So stay with us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.